As we go to the 7th, Pete Lecoq has come on to play first base. Todd Cruz has moved from third to short to replace the injured Freddie Patek. And George Brett has moved from first to third. Gura, with a 6-5 lead, pitches to Bucky Dent. Dent, a ground out, and he also flied to center field. So Herzog sticking with Gura with his bullpen, not having a good year to this point. And Gura's now got a 6-5 lead. 2 balls, no strikes to Dent. 2-1. We thought at the beginning of the year that the strength of this Kansas City ball club, the 2 strengths, would be their speed, which everyone knows about, and their pitching staff. They don't have a lot of power. Cruz with a good arm over the clock. Dent is retired. But the pitching has really suffered for the Royals. Splittorff has 8 wins and 5 losses. His earned run average, though, is fairly close to 4. Rodriguez is 4-1. He gave up the home run yesterday.
Leonard's got the bad arm.
Leonard threw about 70-75%, they said yesterday. He's got a muscle pull or injury in his right elbow. Breaking ball could be 2 for Rivers. He pulls it in the right field corner. Mickey going standing up. So with 1 out, he's on second, representing the tying run for the Yankees. Rivers with 2 base hits in this ball game.
He just makes it go. He's the catalyst. There's just something about him. There are players like that they just get it going for you.
Now it's Willie Randolph. Grounded out twice. He has doubled, and he has scored a run. And once again, we're seeing some action. They're taking the tarp off down in the Kansas City Royals bullpen. There's Rivers at second. Royals have 9 hits, the Yankees 7. The Royals lead 6-5. 1 ball. Rivers is beginning to limp a little bit again, Joe.
I never
completely gotten over that.
It's hard to, you can't always believe him. I never really take him that seriously. I know, I saw that bruise he had.
You mean if the ball's into the outfield, he's going to let it all out?
If he's got a chance to score, it's like when we saw him in New York. He's limping. He had a base hit inside and it looked like he'd made a left turn to Lourdes. It was a miracle. No problem.
1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Randolph hitting. Rivers at second. Well, if he does try and anything gets sharp into the outfield, you've got a super arm in right field and Al Cowens. Otis throws very well in center, and they tell me, although we haven't seen him yet, Willie Wilson in left has an excellent arm. And the ball gets out in a hurry. Rivers had an idea to go, but then he bluffed and held up. 2-1.
LPGA coming up right after. They got a little shootout going over there. So you stay with us.
2 balls, 1 strike to Willie Randolph. Breaking ball, it'll go 3-1.
Geraldine Britz is still leading. We gave you an update earlier. But she's being chased by Joanne Carner and Donna Capone Young. And I always throw in that name, Nancy Lopez, the defending champion. So the golf will be following us right after the ball game. We'll be going to Kings Island.
There's Rivers at second for the Yankees. 3 balls, 1 strike to Willie Randolph. Royals lead 6-5. We're in the top of the 7th. He went to the breaking ball, 3-1. Now it's 3-2. He has such confidence in his off-speed stuff. Larry Gura. You got to believe Randolph was looking fastball, like most hitters would. 3-2 pitch. Good breaking ball, but he missed high. So now there are 2 men on for the Yankees with 1 out, and it's Thurman Munson. Munson is grounded out, walked in the 3rd and scored a run. He flied to left in the 5th. Last night, first 2 times up, he hit into double plays, and that's what they're looking for right now, the Royals.
Tony, I have to believe that Thurman's up there setting himself, digging in, fixing his glove and cap, but thinking about what is Gura going to try to make me hit, and you know it's going to be a breaking ball. I've got to believe he's sitting on that breaking ball. If he gets it, he's going to try to hit in the right center field.
A pitcher like Gura, you can look breaking ball. He doesn't throw that hard. You still might be able to get around in the fastball. A little bluff to get Rivers back. Munson likes to hit the opposite way in situations like this. Try and stay out of a double play. Got a little bit of a hole between UL Washington and Lecoq. And strike.
Fastball right down in there, and he took it all away.
He was looking breaking ball. You're right.
Official word, Tony. Patek had muscle cramps in his right leg.
Mindori, a left-hander, and Rennie Martin, a newcomer, are throwing in the Royals bullpen. 1 out, 1 strike. The Yankees have 2 men on. The Yankees trail by 1. He's going to right field, but he fouled it off. You got to pitch up, Joe. One that he can get to the outfield. Now Gura's way ahead.
This is going to be an interesting battle with Rivers at second base. Randolph is on at first base, 6-5. The Royals leading. You got a smart hitter, a smart pitcher, and it's not so much heat against heat or power against power as it is cunning against cunning. 2 pretty good battlers out there now.
Just missed outside and low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I categorize that as a fastball that missed low and outside. When do you think he'll want his pitch of decision, here, or will he try to set him up with this pitch, make him chase a bad ball and nibble and come back and get him on the 2-2?
I go down in with a slider, try and force him to pull the ball.
I'd go sinker right on the outside corner.
Okay. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Gura battling Thurman Munson, or vice versa. There goes Rivers. The runner's line to Brett, but he drops the ball. He'll still have a shot at Munson. So he gets Munson at first. Munson hit the ball a ton. Brett was breaking to cover third base, which is the only reason that Brett might have gotten his glove on the ball. With Rivers moving off second base and Randolph off first, Brett just had a chance to slap it down.
There you see it. Munson wasn't 3 feet from home plate when he knocked that ball down. Munson is now 0 for 3, combined with the 0 for 6 last night. He's 0 for 9, but you never saw a guy hit a ball as hard and not get a hit 9 times as bad as Thurman Munson. And Herzog is coming out. He wants to talk to Gura, and looks like they're going to make a change, Tony.
Well, they've got Piniella, right-hander, up. He has Martin, the right-handed pitcher, throwing. Looks like Rennie Martin, the newcomer, who has an excellent curveball, they tell us, coming in the ball game. Gura leaves. He did a good job. Royals lead 6-5. But Gura pitched much better than the 5 runs he allowed the Yankees. And we're going to leave you for these brief messages with the Royals leading over the Yankees 6-5, but they do have 2 men on base.
30 years ago, your father took you out on a hot summer's day and taught you how to dig for clams. Now that it's a job, the sun seems hotter and the day longer. But the clams you pull up through the mud and the water taste just as sweet. Now comes Miller time. Time to relax with a few friends and a glass of the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Beer after beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer.
BJ and the Bear find romance and robbery at a stunt show.
BJ! Murph and Luther got Aaron and the money.
BJ makes the leap to save the loot tonight on NBC.
We're back in Kansas City in Royal Stadium. New pitcher, Rennie Martin, Joe.
Tony, I got a final score here. The Houston Astros against the Mets. The Mets won that game 4-0. Winning pitcher Swan. The loser was Andahar.
Rennie Martin. His first name is Donald, but he goes by Rennie Martin. Does not have a very impressive ERA this year. It's almost 8. There's no wins, 3 losses, but 3 saves. But Whitey Herzog and Galen Cisco, the pitching coach, say that he has one of the best curveballs in the American League right now. He just needs the experience. They also add that it's just a shame he has to get in the big leagues. 6-5, the Royals over the Yankees. 2 outs. Yankees have Rivers at third, Randolph at second.
There it was. That was Uncle Charlie right there. I could see that curveball from up here. Woohoo!
Pinella has struck out, single twice. There's a fastball drill to center field. Rivers will score. It's tied up. Here comes Randolph to throw. Not in time. The Yankees take the lead 7-6. So Herzog's ball club continues to have pitching problems.
Boy, I got to second guess this. Something awful. Fastball right down the middle. Pinella, who is a good high fastball hitter. The kid just broke off a curveball that really looked like a dandy, and they come back with a fastball. I got to believe that Wathan wanted to waste that fastball and come back with the curve, but there's no way you can control where the pitcher's going to throw it when you have that inexperienced pitcher out there.
Pinella with 3 hits in the ball game, and that was just a big one for the Yankees as he put them ahead. Nettles takes a breaking ball for a strike. Lou Pinella, 4 RBIs in this ball game today. And you know the Yankees miss Reggie Jackson's bat. When you can keep throwing bats like Munson, Nettles, Pinella, Chambliss, you got Cliff Johnson on the bench, Spencer, John Stone, and a lot of depth. Fly ball deep to left. Wilson drifts back. He gets it for the 3rd out, but the damage is done. As the Yankees now take the lead as we go to the last of the 7th, they lead over the Royals 7-6.
Bobby Unser, Richard Petty, Dan Gurney, Cale Yarborough. They put Goodyear's new Wingfoot radial through its paces.
It's quick.
Wingfoot, designed for the world's quickest cars.
It's a great road tire.
Built to give you a superb combination of handling and ride.
It really grips.
More agile, more responsive than any high-performance radial tire Goodyear has ever offered.
It's a winner.
Goodyear's ultimate handling option for your performance car. Goodyear's new Wingfoot radial.
It's a winner.
If you know someone who's still spraying it, help them out. Tell them to get on the stick with Menon Speed Stick. With Menon, you get effective deodorant protection. Speed Stick is solid. Nothing's wasted. It's a lot more deodorant for your money. You can buy this 3-ounce can of the leading aerosol, use it up, buy another, use it up, and buy a 3rd before you'd use up 1 2.5-ounce Speed Stick. So if you know someone who's still spraying, tell them to get on the stick with Menon Speed Stick deodorant.
On NBC's Game of the Week, see the explosive Kansas City Royals battle it out with the Milwaukee Brewers, or see the Orioles face hard-hitting Roy Smalling and the Twins next Saturday.
Next week, we're going to remind you, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, our ball games, you'll see that the Baltimore Orioles under Earl Weaver against the Minnesota Twins. Gene Mock has them in contention. Or the game between the California Angels at the Detroit Tigers with new manager Les Moss. 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We hope you'll tune in and be with us for Brian Gumbel's pregame show. And another interesting afternoon of baseball. Last to the 7th, the Yankees 7, Royals 6. Willie Wilson tries to lay a bunt down. Nettles was breathing right down his throat. Ray Burris, a chance to pick up a win here in the American League. There's Nettles way up in front of the 3rd base bag. Hit to right field, so Wilson's on. Chuck Hiller, the 3rd base coach, is the man who's really done a job over the last couple of years with Willie Wilson. He used to strike out about 3 times a game, and Hiller said to him, listen, just make contact with your speed. That's all you have to do. Forget about swinging for home runs. And he's been doing it. He's hitting .350. They also said Willie Wilson, anytime he gets on base, it's an automatic double.
He's got 25 stolen bases, 2 behind Ron LaFleur, who leads the major leagues with 27. Moreno leads the National League 22. And Wilson, he loves to run, and we're going to see it.
Yankees looking for a bunt. Nettles at 3rd. But they may give Willie Wilson a chance to steal 2nd base. Have UL Washington take, or at least decoy. Burst with a quick move to 1st base. You saw it right there.
I tell you, it's tough to throw with a left-hand batter when he squares around the bunt, because if he puts that bat about eye level, you have a tough time seeing.
Thurman Munson threw Willie Wilson out in Yankee Stadium on Tuesday. We're the last to the 7th. Willie Wilson, in time in high school, the 9 400-yard dash. That was in sneakers. Tennis shoes, if you will. He's holding. Washington fouls it back. Guy in the insert of your picture, Willie Wilson, had 200 football scholarship to major colleges like Michigan, Notre Dame. Washington looking to Hiller for a sign. Wilson said that baseball was his 3rd best sport in high school. Also a great basketball player. Played on Jeff Torborg, the Cleveland Indian manager's team, over the wintertime. 1 strike. UL Washington. Nettles still looking for the bunt. Washington 1 for 3 in the ball game.
This is where that second place hitter, or the hitter behind a runner like Wilson, has to be patient and not get upset when pitchers throw over the first 4 and 5 times.
Wilson with a good lead. He's swinging. 1 ball, 1 strike to UL Washington.
Would you pitch out right here, Tony?
No. I don't think it does any good with a guy like Wilson. I think you got to let the pitcher do it all himself. Burris has a good move, a quick move to first base. The thing about Wilson is even if he doesn't get a good jump, he outruns the ball.
Well,
Let's see what happens. Is he going? Back.
There's no pitch out on if he's throwing to first base, I'll tell you that. Just hold him close and give you a shot. With a guy like Wilson, you need all the help you can get.
Ray Burris with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. No outs. Wilson at first. The Yankees lead 7-6. Wilson he started to go, but he didn't have a good jump, so he held. You could see him break, and Burris pitched very quickly to home plate. Now the count's 1-2.
He was about 2 steps on the artificial surface, and when he started, the foot that was on the dirt is the part that kind of slipped, and wisely he stopped. I'll tell you one thing, Munson wouldn't have stopped him with the novena, the jump he had.
Wilson with 25 stolen base. 2 behind, round the floor of the Tigers. Kansas City Ball Club with excellent speed.
Boy, there's a great battle going on. I think this is what makes baseball so great. Here's Wilson. He's going to run. Burris knows he's going to run. Munson knows he's going to run. UL Washington has to be patient and protect. It's just like a lot of landmines out there.
And this is where the catcher becomes so important, because he does not want that pitcher's attention divided. You're going home, concentrate on the hitter. He can hurt you most. He's still got the bat. Breaking ball, drill to right field. So UL Washington on a 1-2 pitch sends Wilson to second base. There's still no one out, and up comes Amos Otis. First breaking ball thrown by Ray Burris to UL Washington. It was a hanger. He did a good job of hitting right there, Joe.
Yes, he did. I tell you, and Burris bearing down on Wilson, bearing down on Washington. These Kansas City Royals, they score runs. The American League runs scored leaders. California, 306, and Kansas City, 299.
Now, A.O. Amos Otis is looking down to Hiller for the bunt sign. Munson, you can see him giving the sign to Nettles, saying, watch out. They may be bunting, but if you break too soon off third, Wilson might be running off second base. Otis has speed at the plate. Wilson has speed at second. UL Washington can run at first. Nobody out. 7-6, the Yankees lead. I believe he was faking a bunt right there. I don't think he wanted to lay anything down. He may want to give Willie Wilson a chance. 1 ball to Otis.
Chambliss is coming hard, and Burris was coming hard, but Nettles was laying back.
Ray Burris over from the Cubs. There's the Yankee defense. Chambliss up close. They're in tight up the middle, trying to hold Willie Wilson on second base. And you got to believe everybody in that infield and Ray Burris is thinking about Willie Wilson. 1-0 pitch from Burris. Otis pops it up, trap it. He didn't trap it. Had a chance for 2 if he lets the ball bounce. If Burris lets the ball bounce, they could have easily gotten Willie Wilson off the base pass. Let it bounce on the artificial surface, throw to third. You got the force out, and then you got the Otis at first base. Now they've got just 1 out, 2 men out, and Bob Lemon pops out.
He's going to make a change. He's already indicated he wants the left-hander. And Cott has been warming up out there.
Ray Burris had a chance to help himself out and get 1 extra out. He let the ball drop. It is not an infield fly in a bunt situation. Now on comes Jim Cott. He'll be facing George Brett. An exciting ball game in here in Kansas City. With the score, the Yankees 7, the Royals 6, and we'll be back after these messages.
My professional Nikon and I made history last year. Now my new Nikon, the EM, is making history. Simple to use, easy to afford. Just focus. If the light's bad, it beeps. Just turn this till it stops. Got it. The new Nikon EM. Affordable and practically foolproof.
Why just buy a camera when you can buy a Nikon?
Want high gas mileage? Come to Chrysler. Chrysler Corporation is #1 in gas mileage of the big 3. Of all conventional pickups with an optional V8 and automatic transmission, Dodge D100 has the highest EPA estimated gas mileage. Of all small pickups with a standard engine and optional automatic transmission, Dodge D50 has the highest EPA estimated mileage. Want a pickup with high gas mileage? Come to Dodge. Chrysler is #1 in gas mileage of the big 3.
Major League Baseball presents Big League Tips.
Here's how to figure an earned run average. First of all, take the total number of earned runs that you've allowed, say 20. You divide that by the number of innings that you've pitched, let's say 80. Now that'll give you a figure, 80 into 20, of .250. Now you take .250, multiply that by 9 to give you a number of runs per 9 inning. This would be 2.25. An ERA of that, you'd be pitching awfully well. Baseball fever. Catch it.
Major League Baseball. In other scores, Boston 11, Minnesota nothing at the end of 7. Yastrzemski is 10th home run in the first with 1 on. Fisk is first in the third with none on. Rice is 12th in the fifth with 1 on. And Lynn is 16th in the sixth with 2 on. Toronto at Oakland, Huffman against Keogh. Tonight, Texas is at Baltimore. Baltimore won 3 in a row. They allowed a total of only 1 run in those 3 wins. Detroit's at California. Angels have won 4 in a row. Chicago at Milwaukee. Cleveland at Seattle. Los Angeles and the Cubs, they're now at the end of 6 complete innings. Chicago 4, Los Angeles 3. Lopes a home run. And New York beat Houston 4-0. Andahar was the loser. Swan was the winner. And Tony, that game was played in 1 hour and 57 minutes. They wanted to be sure to see the 6 o'clock news, didn't they?
All right. Well, right here, 40-year-old Jim Cott, his 9th game for the Yankees, to face George Brett with Wilson at second base, UL Washington at first. The Yankees lead 7-6. Cott, his 9th appearance. He's done a good job. Fine earned run average. Brett fouls this one off. Cott came in to pitch to Brett yesterday in the ball game last night. Brett hit the first pitch for a single, and then Porter sacrificed, and Cott was removed. So he's been used almost exclusively against left-handed hitters, Jim Cott. 1 strike. Wilson not getting too big of a lead off second base. Strike 2 on Brett. Cott with an earned run average of 1.23. There are your base runners with 1 out. Wilson at second, UL Washington at first. Cott way ahead. Drilled! Great stop, almost, by Randolph. He had it, then it got by. Wilson will score. Here goes Brett to second base. He is in there. So now it's tied up at 7. Brett with a big 2-strike hit.
And not only that, that base running was amazing. Just a great piece of base running. Willie Wilson being congratulated as they tie it up. And what a ball game we're having here. Watch Brett now as Randolph knocks the ball down. Rivers picks it up. He's looking at the base runner, UL Washington. Brett goes sliding into second, and watch him motion for UL Washington to take off towards home. Look at him. Go ahead. He's in that ball game, that George Brett.
And now Cott will walk Cowens with first base open and 1 out, and he'll pitch to the left-hander Porter. And, Joe, it's about what you said at the start of the show when you featured Your little tease, Nettles and Brett, and you quoted Billy Hunter, former manager of Texas, saying that, what was the quote about Brett?
Is the best player in the American League today.
I'll tell you. He has walked today. He has singled and scored a run. He just singled and then made a double out of it when he kept on going, singling home the tying run. It is now Porter, who is in a 2-run home run. He's been hit by a pitch. He also grounded into a double play. These two teams over the past 3 years have battled tooth and nail, the Royals against the Yankees. 1 out. 1 strike to Porter. Cott with a little extra, goes 0-2.
Boy, I tell you, this has been some kind of... We've had some dandy ball games, and congratulations to our guys in the truck, George Finkel and Harry Coyle, and our camera guys. What coverage.
Fouled off by Porter.
That play on Brett, Tony, first of all, looked like a single, and first of all, looked like Randolph was going to make the play.
I thought he had it hit off the heel of his glove, and then the ball trickled away to center field. 2-strike pitch again. He misses. 1-2. What a piece of hitting by Brett. No balls, 2 strikes. A veteran pitcher like Cott. Cott did not try and waste the pitch. Brett zinged him. Cott goes 2-2 to Porter. The Yankee bullpen has plagued them since Gossage injured his thumb. Gossage in the last couple of days has begun to run. He cannot throw. He's got a little soft cast on drill, but full foul to right field by Porter.
Well, you can't get the ball inside to Mr. Porter. He just sits there. It's almost like picking up a phone. Inside fastball, I think I'll hit it out of here.
He's got that left foot, his back foot, about as close to home plate as you can get it. Wide open stance. There it is. Should by him inside, tick foul, so we'll get another chance. The Royals have runners at second and third with 1 out.
That's one of the frustrating things about catching that foul tip, because there's no way you can practice that. It's lucky when it sticks in your glove. Bases are loaded.
Bases loaded. Collins with the intentional walk. Brett at second. He really fisted him. Randolph will go. He missed the tag, or did he?
He's out of the baseline. He called him out.
Whitey Herzog can argue because he believes that he should have had a run home with the bases loaded, that the tag was missed on Collins. There it is. Randolph, it did not appear, tagged him. It did not appear that the runner, Collins, was out of the baseline, but Larry Barnett said he made the tag or he was out of the baseline.
He said he was out of baseline, Tony.
All right, then if he says that, it's a judgment call.
Yeah, but if that line is the baseline, he was not out of that line. Now, he misses the tag.
He's got 3 feet. He did not go out of the baseline. In my mind, it should have been a run, the 8th run, but it is still a tie ball game at 7. That is a double play is awarded. Herzog is still arguing,
and I don't blame him.
Boros.
I don't blame him.
So the score is tied at 7. We'll go to the 8th here at Royal Stadium, and Herzog is not getting the boos. It is the second base umpire.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know that peanuts can make your face feel better?
Peanuts?
Here, try some.
What's that?
Track 2, the only leading shave cream with peanut oil.
Peanut oil in a shave cream? Hey, it feels creamier.
That's because peanut oil is one of the best moisturizers you can use on your face.
It feels good.
That's track 2, moisturizing your beard so you get a better feeling shave. Excuse me. Oh, I did you already.
Track 2, made from peanuts for a better feeling shave.
Why should you buy a Black & Decker string trimmer? 1, it cuts down grass and weeds in nothing flat. 2, it has a remarkable feature that lets the precise amount of line out automatically. 3, and perhaps the best reason of all, is that when you buy a Black & Decker string trimmer, or hedge trimmer, or edger, you get one thing Black & Decker is famous for.
A tough power tool that won't let you down.
And that's why you should buy a Black & Decker string trimmer.
On Sports World, top women gymnasts compete in the USGF Nationals. Then it's Friendship Cup weightlifting, plus the 200th running of the English Derby, and the fittest of them all, tomorrow.
Here's a replay again. That is Collins, who was intentionally walked. He gets by Willie Randolph without a tag, but he's already called out by Larry Barnett, who is umpiring on the inside part of the infield. The umpires have had that option lately, the American League umpires. I don't believe he called him out for being out of the baseline. He called him out for being tagged, but you can see that we have a much better angle with our camera than Larry Barnett does.
Yeah, but if we do, it's because he's out of position. I mean, he's paid to see the play. Now, he can't. Randolph doesn't even make an attempt once he gets by him, and he's calling him out.
And that's what's kind of nice. If Randolph had made a double tag, Barnett might have reconsidered. But anyway, it might have cost Kansas City a run and put them ahead 8-7, but we've got a tie ball game.
So, Jim Spencer comes on now as a pinch hitter for Darrell Jones. Spencer hitting .262, all tied at 7 apiece. High curveball. 7 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. Curveball misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Martin is 6'4", 190 pounds. Boy, he stands there. Look at him like a soldier. Feet together. Turns 24 on August 30th. 3 balls and no strikes. Martin came up from Double-A Jacksonville. He's never been in Triple-A. He's with the Royals in the Major League Spring Training Camp at Fort Myers this spring. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Is a strike. 1977 graduate of Richmond University with a degree in finance. And with the money they're paying, that ain't a bad degree to have. 3-1 pitch. Straight away center field. Amos Otis is waiting. 1 out. If he did it any more nonchalant, he'd have to be sleeping between pitches.
He lost that old glove he had too, didn't he? I think it was stolen. A lot of the Kansas City Royals equipment was stolen. 2 years ago, he had that glove about 8 or 9 years. It was reconditioned I don't know how many times.
So there's 1 away, and here's Chris Chambliss. He had a 2-run homer in the 2nd. He walked and stole a base in the 4th, and he struck out in the 6th. It's a strike. Rennie Martin. Larry Gora started. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, a baseball fan, they say, oh, I like that good pitcher's duel. No, I like a lot of hitting. Hot smash, base hit. Chambliss is on. He makes a big turn at first. Is he going to try it? Yes, he is. And he makes it.
Pretty smart piece of base running right there. As soon as he saw that Otis caught the ball on his glove side, he knew he had a couple of extra steps because he had to break and turn all the way around to throw. If Cowens had backhanded that ball, he would have been in better position to throw. Right there, look at Cowens. He would have held him to a single. But Chambliss, with not good speed, he cut the ball well. He made the double from home plate to first base, not from first to second.
You can't get much help from the coach as you look at Chris Chambliss. And on a replay, as you counted Otis's steps, there were 4 extra steps that he took to make the throw. The reaction you hear is in the crowd. Watch Otis as he picks up the ball, how many steps he'll take. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5.
You know, that's the old Casey Stengel thing, something that we were talking about with Herzog's out. Casey used to talk about base running and defense, and he was excellent at it. And he always used to say, anytime that ball's at the outfielder's glove side, can allow you 2 or 3 more steps because he's got to break and turn all the way around. He'll never get much on his throw.
Glove side.
Glove side, which is what Otis did. Glove side, if it's Cowens backhands it, it's on his bare hand side. He's got an easier throw.
Whitey Herzog making a change, and now Raboski comes in, and this crowd will go bonkers. Because Raboski, as you well know, he's got this thing built up where he psychs himself as he gets behind the mound, and with that beard and whatever, he's right out of Central Casting if you were looking for a villain for a tag team wrestling match. And this crowd really reacts to it. Roy White will be the batter. Don't forget, we'll be going to golf right after our game, the LPGA, Kings Island, Ohio. And they've got a little bit of a shootout going on over there. Gerald and Brits still leading. Joanne Corner, Donna Young chasing, Nancy Lopez, the defending champion. And there'll be Sports World tomorrow and the conclusion of the golf. And we've got baseball for you next week. We get a chance to see Baltimore against Minnesota. We haven't seen either of those ball clubs. California at Detroit. So you stay right with us. Right here, it's 7 runs, 9 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. 7 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error for Kansas City. And the tiebreaker is on at second base, Chris Chambliss. There's one man out, and Al Raboski.
We're going to show you Al Raboski after he finishes his 8 warm-up tosses from our center field camera, and you're going to look right into his face and see him psych himself up.
And I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll also zip it up here for a while and watch and listen to the crowd react as soon as he finishes warming up. He was hit hard yesterday. This is his 25th game. 3-2 is his record. Listen. There's no biz like showbiz.
I'll say one thing, that's not going to replace the fastball he had a couple of years ago. He's throwing a lot more breaking stuff.
He nods yes, and Roy White waits. Oh, that crowd loves it. Strike one.
Raboski is not striking out the hitters that he once did. This year, 31 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts. He used to strike out about 1 per inning, close to that.
High. 1 ball, 1 strike. He says he's 2 different people. I'm Al Raboski, and then I'm the pitcher who starts back to the mound after I've talked to myself and I face the enemy. Crowd loves it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 7-7's the score. We're in the 8th inning. Chambliss is on his second base.
He wants to go breaking ball again. He throws a fork ball and that curve you just saw. White is a good fastball hitter.
Missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Al Raboski, who came over from the Cardinals. They traded Mark Littell. Cardinals and Kenny Boy are really going great guns. Lou Brock. Off the end of the bat, he took something off the curveball. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's got to make White hit his pitch with that lead run at second base. First base is open with 1 out. And you've got the number 9 hitter, Dent, coming up next. So with first base open, you'd still have a double play situation. Can't give in to a hitter right now.
Last ball misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He continues that psyching act. You noticed on the shots we just gave you, first of all, the insert, the close-up, that concentration and how he nods his head to make sure the hitter sees him. And even after the catcher has given his signs, completed his sequence, he continues to nod. Off the handle, long throw for Brett. It's going to be close. He dropped the ball.
It was a good throw, Joe. Lecoq just looked like he closed the glove and the ball popped out, or he closed it too soon.
He makes a perfect throw.
White did not get a good jump out of the box because he was jammed on the pitch. just squirts off the end of Lecoq's glove. He'll be charged with an error.
It's an error on the first baseman.
The Royals have not played well defensively this year. We mentioned it earlier. They are second from the bottom. Team defense percentage-wise.
It's the first error for Pete Lecoq. So base runners are on at first and second, one man out. And Bucky Dent is the batter. Dent is 0 for 3. Bounced out, fly to right, and bounced to the shortstop. Strike. Chambliss is on at second base. Roy White is on at first base. We're all tied. 7 apiece. We're in the 8th inning. It's been a real battle. Yankees jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Looked like Tommy John had a laugher. And then the Royals came back with 3 in the 4th. They took the lead with 3 in the 6th. Yankees 2 in the 7th. Royals 1 in the 7th.
At this point, Joe Roboski hasn't agreed too many times with the signal that Wathan has put down. He is shaken off. It seems like about every one that he's put down.
I tell you, you get days like that. You get pitchers like that. You just can't seem, you know, it's like putting that round peg in a square hole or whatever. But he's got to throw the ball. Right field. Cowens is there, makes the play. And the runner's hold. He was playing shallow, and it's a good thing he was.
That's where the defensive charts that most clubs keep coming so handy. And Whitey Herzog is the only manager that I know that keeps his own charts. He marks it down on the bench right after the game or the next morning. He takes it to his big charts with every pitcher has his own color and where they hit the ball off every pitcher. And boy, Cowens was positioned just right.
That's what he was doing this morning. We got out here at the ballpark about 10:30, and Whitey was working on his charts, and he had enough Crayolas, looked like Sesame Street, and was staying after school.
He's done an outstanding job with this ball game. Both managers have, but I think Lemon's got a little more firepower than Herzog's got. Herzog's kept this club close in spite of a pitching staff that has really faltered this year so far.
They got identical records, 31 and 26. 2 men out, Mickey Rivers. Ball 1. Rivers bounced out, second to first in the first inning. He singled to center and scored in the 3rd. He flied deep to right in the 4th, and then he doubled and scored in the 7th. 1 ball, no strikes. Roboski against Rivers. Pops him up. Cowens has plenty of room, plenty of time, makes the play, and the Yankees do not score. So we go into the bottom half of the 8th inning, and what a ball game this has been. New York 7, Kansas City 7.
For days you fought the mountain for a 90-ton slab of granite. And now you hold your breath while you bring it out until it swings free and clear. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear, Miller Beer.
Sears National Automotive Sale. The Sears 36 battery is now on sale. It's loaded with starting power and it's maintenance free. At only $34.99 with trade-in, you save $5 on Sears 36 battery.
It's a good time to save on Sears Dynaglass belted 28 tires because right now they're on sale at 40% off. With 2 fiberglass belts, you get good traction and long mileage.
At Sears.
What is the real story behind the Hindenburg? Was it an accident or sabotage? George C. Scott stars in The Hindenburg, Sunday.
Boy, I can hardly keep Tony in the seat. Listen.
No beer barrel polka. Boy, they're really whooping it up on the south side of Milwaukee tonight, aren't they?
I'll tell you, here in Kansas City, it's fun time at the ballpark. These fans, some 38,025 of them, really enjoying it here. It's a 7-7 ball game. Listen.
There's a lady that's really got rhythm.
She's tired. Don't forget the golf coming up right after our game now. The LPGA. Right now, John Watha bunts it foul. Cott's a good fielder. He's got enough gold gloves. He's using them for doorstops. He's got 16 of them.
40 years old. He's still like a cat. Is he still on that vegetarian diet?
Still like a cat?
Oh, I didn't know. They call him Kitty Cat, but he is. He's still very quick, and he's got a great body.
Right field. Piniella is going back. Misjudged it for a moment, but he has room. 1 out. Geraldine Britz was leading the golf this morning, and after 4 holes, which was the latest update we had, she was still leading. Joanne Carner and Donna Young chasing, with Nancy Lopez still in the race. And we'll be switching to the golf right after this game. Here is Pete Lecoq, first time at bat. He came in after Patek was hurt. He made all the changes, ball 1. Brett went back to third from first, and Cruz went from third to short, and Lecoq went in to play first. Off the handle, and it's going to drop for a base hit, a foul ball. Just barely foul. Oh, that was close. He hit that right off the thumbs.
Third base umpire Jim Evans. Watch him get in position right on the line. There you can see that ball 6 inches to a foot foul. Boy, I thought for a change we're going to see a ball somehow get by Nettles. Over the top of him, I guess, is the only way. And even at that, he made a heck of a play, or try. Yeah, Jim Evans.
Jim Evans right on top of that play. He's a third base umpire. Lecoq was jammed, but he tried to muscle it to the opposite field. Hit it right off the thumbs, but it was foul. 1-1. Strike 2. Jim Cott with 262 lifetime wins. That's second among the active pitchers. Broken bat, ground ball. Bucky Dent has it. Quick throw. Lecoq is out. 2 up and 2 down.
You know, I was thinking, Joe, Cott's got to be the only player still active who played in the old ballpark in Washington. I can't think of any others. He came up and pitched in that ballpark.
Can't either.
I remember batting against him, and boy, could he throw. He had more movement on that fastball than anybody you'll ever want to see.
Todd Cruz is the batter. Cruz is 0 for 3. Second among the active pitchers. Gaylord Perry has 272 wins. Strike is called. You see where he's got a new pitch? Mike Hargrove calls it the puff pitch. He loads the ball with rosin, and when he throws it, just a puff of rosin comes out. It's popped up in the infield. Greg Nettles is taking charge. Makes the play. An easy inning for Cott. 3 up, 3 down. We complete 8 innings of baseball here, and the score is tied. The New York Yankees have 7. The Royals have 7.
Hey, where you going?
Going to eat.
I see. Pizza, huh?
Nope.
Burgers?
Nah, getting good Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Why Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Tell him, Dad.
Because the Colonel uses only fresh grade A chicken.
Yeah, we're eating out, but we're eating right.
But what do the kids say?
All right!
It's so nice, nice to feel so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
For higher gas mileage, come to Chrysler. Chrysler Corporation is #1 in gas mileage of the big 3. When comparing models with standard engines and transmissions, Chrysler has 12 that top Toyota Celica in estimated miles per gallon, 4 that top Ford or GM's best mileage car, 5 that top gas engine Rabbit, and nobody has more models with estimated 25 miles per gallon than Chrysler. Want higher gas mileage? See your Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
See exciting live coverage as defending champion Nancy Lopez shoots for her 4th consecutive tour win in the prestigious LPGA Championship later today and tomorrow on NBC.
You're looking at the Yankee bench, and that's Charlie Lau sitting next to Bucky Dent. Charlie Lau, who for many years the batting coach over on the other side, the Kansas City bench. And he had called Mike Ferraro, the Yankee third base coach, over for a chat. So, Ryboski in relief, a tie ball game here. For those of you who are just joining us in hopes of watching the LPGA golf, we are going to switch to Kings Island immediately following this game. And the latest we had on the golf, Geraldine Britz was still leading after 4 holes. She was the lady 6 years on the tour who on Thursday shot a 64 and came back with a 72 and went into today's round at 136. Joanne Carner trailing at 139 along with Donna Young. Nancy Lopez was 8 shots off beginning today's round. We'll cut it down a bit, 1 shot after 4 holes. But we'll be going to the golf right after our game here. This is the 9th inning. Willie Randolph will lead it off for the Yankees. Ryboski's in relief. Gura and John were the starters. They're both gone. There's a strike. It's 7 runs, 9 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. 7 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors for the Royals. Chambliss had a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. Porter had a big 2-run homer in the 4th inning for the Royals. The only 2 home runs in the game. One ball, 1 strike. At the end of 8, it's Boston 12, Minnesota 5. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WDAF TV4, Kansas City, Missouri.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Willie Randolph. In the Cub-Dodger game, they're in the 7th now, and it's Chicago 5, Los Angeles 3. Toronto nothing, Oakland nothing. Bottom of the 2nd. Foul straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hey, Tony, talking about golf, how'd you like to be putting and have a guy like Ryboski in your foursome staring you down like
saying,
that?
Don't miss it.
Just staring at you like that. Then when he gets up to putt, he talks to his putter and then charges the hole. 1-2 pitch. Curveball misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'll say one thing. Ryboski's really changed his style. He used to come in there and it was just fastball one after the other. And he really threw hard. He is throwing today, I don't know, 90%, 80% breaking pitches.
A lot of
fork ball, slider, slow curve at time. There's a fastball.
Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's had to adjust.
Well, maybe some of you people who tune in to watch golf don't get to see our game of the week or haven't stopped in to watch it. You're in for a treat with this Ryboski working. He's a fellow who talks to himself behind the mound before he delivers to the batter. He stares you down. Mean look. Foul straight back. In fact, in Italian, they used to have an expression. Malocchio, the bad eye, gives you
the evil eye, huh?
Watch him now. He never smiles, this guy. And here's a replay. Look at him. Look at the plate.
He throws that glove in your face, too, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's watching it all the way.
It's got to be the way Genghis Khan looked. And the hordes.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Here's a base hit to left field. So Willie Randolph singles to left in the top of the 9th, and the Yankees have the tiebreaker on.
And Randolph, the Yankees base stealer, has gotten 16 so far this year, been caught 4 times. Munson likes to hit and run, but he may be bunting also. A lot of things for Ryboski in this infield for Kansas City to think about.
Munson was robbed of extra bases when Rivers was on his 2nd and broke. He hit a line drive that Brett knocked down. Munson, he walked and scored in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 3. Now he's going to make Ryboski wait. That's what they do.
We may see a couple throws over to see if Munson's going to commit himself or Randolph, if he's going to bunt or swing away. They're playing back. Brett at 3rd. They're expecting Thurman to hit.
High, ball 1. He did shorten up as if to bunt. Munson has no sacrifice bunt so far this year. The Yankees rarely sacrifice.
He moved Brett in, though. Brett now has come even with a bag. He had been playing Munson deep. Willie's got a good lead, doesn't he?
He sure has.
Hit and run.
There he goes. Off the handle. Brett, far to his left, his only plays at first base, so Munson gives himself up. Got jammed. But it works just as well as the bunt as Randolph moves over into scoring position.
The runner's going. Willie Randolph. Munson fights off. Looked like a slider or a cut fastball. Brett with no chance for a play at second. So the Yankees have the potential winning run at second base now. It's been some ball game, and out pops Herzog.
Well, I think he wants to find out with first base open what he's going to do, because you want to look past Piniella. Nettles is the on-deck hitter. One man out, you'd have left-hander against left-hander, and then Spencer was the pinch hitter for Darrell Jones, and I'm sure that's what they're talking about. And this could be a case of just put him on right now or don't give him anything good to hit.
So he's got 3 base hits and 4 RBIs in this game, Piniella. He had 3 RBIs yesterday in the ball game.
He's got
I got to believe you're going to put him on and try and get to Spencer, although then you're faced with the possibility of Cliff Johnson coming up. The Yankees pinch hitters have done well this year.
Johnson's already at the bat rack. He's loosening up.
Herzog's thinking a couple of hitters ahead, not just Piniella. They're going to pitch to him.
Well, this is another one of those situations. A good fastball hitter, Lou Piniella. We're tied at 7 apiece. We'll be going to golf right after this game. Curveball way inside. Ball 1.
You wonder if Herzog said to him, I don't want you to let him hit a fastball. Talked it over, gave him the scouting report. How they want to pitch Lou. Can't pitch Lou any one way. He'll adjust. He's a good hitter.
I wouldn't give him anything above the belt. Everything would be down, down. Fastball misses. 2 balls and no strikes. In and out.
Randolph had an idea of stealing third right then. He took a couple of steps and then decided to hold up.
Usually at second base, you have some kind of a sign when you're a base runner asking the coach if you can come over because you think you can make it, but you better be at least 90% sure you're going to make it.
Boy, is he getting the room down at second.
Off the handle, he jammed him. Brett's long throw. So they get the tough Lou Piniella. Raboski went after him and got him. He jammed him hard, and Piniella is really upset as he walks back. 2 pretty good pitches right there to get Munson and Piniella. And now it's Greg Nettles.
Like sliders, don't they? Late breaking,
yeah,
something late breaking.
Late quick breaking. It had to be the slider.
Nettles is going to play the same game. He is now going back, and he's going to let Raboski wait now. Raboski went and psyched himself up, and Nettles says, okay, I'll play your game if you want. Now you wait for me.
Now the catcher's going to go out and talk.
It's going to be fun to see who the umpire says, you get in the box or you get on the pitching rubber. Sooner or later, he's got to stop it. See what Raboski does next.
Too bad you can't call delay of the game. Greg Nettles. Nettles flied out, line hard back to the pitcher. Bounced out. First baseman on the system, fly to left. There are 2 outs. We're tied at 7 apiece. High fastball. The on-deck hitter is Cliff Johnson. He's in the circle as we look at Willie Randolph at second base. There you see him.
This ball game has had a lot in it, hasn't it?
Oh, brother.
A lot of base runners.
Way outside. Nice play by John Watham. This is one of those games when you're catching. You don't know if your team has got white uniforms or gray uniforms on. They're all over the bases. 2 balls and no strikes. We've had 14 runs, 22 base hits.
The Yankees have left 7 on. Royals have left 5 on, according to my scorecard.
I'd love to see Rizzuto's scorecard right about now. He must be loaded with GOs and FOs. And Go-Go's.
21 runs in the game last night. The Royals walked, what, 9 or 10?
Right. 2-0 pitch now to Nettles. Bouncing ball foul past Yogi.
What was, you got to tell folks what the latest Yogi Berraism was.
They think I make them up.
No, no.
Jim Hegan, I know the one you're thinking of. Jim Hegan is talking about Vermont. Yogi said, boy, that's a great city. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. Lawrence, he's a beauty. 2-1 pitch.
Oh.
Well hit, deep to left field. Wilson going back. I doubt if he gets it. Off the wall. Randolph will score. Nettles is rounding second. He holds up with a double, and the Yankees lead 8-7.
Talk about percentages in this ball game. Raboski gets the 2 tough right-handers, the 3 and 4 hitters, Munson and Piniella. And look what happens. He's going left-hander against left-hander. Nettles, who's been going more to left field this year, trying to hit left-handers better and hitting but for a much higher average, drills this on the short hop. Wilson can't outrun it.
Boy, he gave it a
great
try.
He sure did. Did he build up some momentum going after that?
Did he ever? Cliff Johnson is the pinch hitter for Jim Spencer. Nettles is on at second base. They're going to put Johnson on intentionally. Boy, that left-hander against left-hander. Nettles beat the Kansas City Royals with a home run. Look out, wow, pitch. And Nettles almost went.
Nettles wasn't paying attention. The reason he didn't make it.
If he'd have been off the bag, he'd have made it. And that's why I maintain, I hope they never make it automatic. There is some element of surprise, and things can happen.
Well, it was Carew a few years ago at Minnesota that swung at the first 3, and the pitcher kept getting farther and farther out. So bench in the World Series a few years back when Dick Williams went out from Oakland, and Fingers threw him a slider down and outside on 3-2, struck him out.
Johnson being walked with Nettles at second base. Nettles has 6 game-winning RBIs in 1979, which is tops on the Yankees. He was tied with Reggie Jackson, who unfortunately is on the disabled list. Nettles last night, that big home run. So there's your left-hander against left-hander theory. Just shot right in the head because Raboski was able to get the 2 tough right-handed hitters, Munson and Piniella. But then Nettles drills one to left field. And here is Chambliss.
There's another guy that hits left-handed pitchers fairly well because he doesn't try and pull everything. He goes with them. Chambliss hits very well in the left and right center field. He can wait a little bit longer on the breaking pitches.
Two men out. 8-7. Yankees have taken the lead. Curveball is outside, and it's ball 1. Second base Nettles, at first base Johnson, and the sun has come out here, which is really a treat for these people in Kansas City. They have had nothing but rain. Curveball is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. LPGA Golf coming up right after our game. Final round tomorrow, along with Sports World. Red Sox beat the Twins 12-6. Winner was Torres, loser Erickson. 1-1 pitch. Fastball high, 2-1. A lot of home runs in that game. Yastrzemski, Fisk, Rice, and Lynn. We'll be watching the Twins in Baltimore in one of our games next week. The other one, California, Detroit. You check your local listings. 2-1 pitch now by Raboski to Chambliss. Line drive, left field. Willie Wilson should make the play, and he does. Misjudged it for a moment. That ends the inning. But a good inning for the Yankees as they break the tie with 1 run. And so we go into the bottom of the 9th inning. It's New York 8 and Kansas City 7. And the top of that lineup coming up for the Kansas City Royals, Tony. Willie Wilson, UL Washington, Amos Otis.
It's been a crazy ball game.
So it's been a kind of a ball game where it's been back and forth. The fans are loving it, and we hope you are too. Now, NBC's Game of the Week has been brought to you by Chrysler Corporation. See the mileage makers at your Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth dealers. And by Rye Shave Cream. Rye's holds so strong your beard comes off easy. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Don Ohlmeyer. The telecast of today's Game of the Week has been produced by George Finkel, directed by Harry Coyle, technical director Arnold Rand, associate producer has been Ed Connell, our associate director John Filippelli. Now, next Saturday, our Game of the Week at 2 o'clock Eastern Time is either the Baltimore Orioles at Minnesota or California at Detroit. Tomorrow on Sports World, following LPGA Golf, it's the USGF Women's Individual Gymnastic Championships, the English Derby, and weightlifting from Leningrad.
And as always, Alan Roth has been a big help to us up here, along with Kansas City's Mike Swanson. We thank them both.
And we'll be going to the golf at Kings Island, Jack Nicklaus's golf course, where Geraldine Britz was the leader going into today's round. And after 4 holes, she was still the leader. But the business at hand is Willie Wilson against Jim Cott, 8-7. Yankees lead. It's high, ball 1.
They are tight at the corners, Nettles and Chambliss with the Wilson speed.
It's low, 2 balls and no strikes. Willie Wilson struck out in the first. He bounced out short the first and the third, struck out in the 5th, single and scored in the 7th.
You believe that Wilson in high school was a catcher? Oh, the only reason is nobody else in the team wanted to catch, and I guess he could handle the pitchers. Nobody else could. What a waste of speed that might have been.
3 balls, no strikes to count. Ball 4, Pat Walksy. And that'll put the gray hairs in the manager's head. You walk that man in that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, and especially a fellow like Willie Wilson.
The bullpens have made Lemon and Herzog suffer. Yes, last night and again today.
Here is UL Washington. Washington has 2 base hits.
Nettles is about, there he comes. He'll be halfway down in just a moment.
Ball 1. So the infield really charging hard. Chambliss from first, Nettles from third. Randolph moving over towards first. Wilson with great speed. Bunted in front of the plate, a beautiful bunt. Washington is out. Wilson moves to second base in scoring position. And it brings up Otis.
About the only thing you can do on artificial surface with Nettles and Chambliss charging, and Cott, the great fielder, is deaden the ball like that. UL Washington keeps the ball, well, just off the dirt surface where Munson is forced. Allow him to go by, as he should, and then field the ball and throw him out.
Here comes number 21, Bob Lemon. He's going to make a pitching change.
Well, he's got Davis thrown down there. Ron Davis is one, and also, it's like Ken Clay. See which one of the right-handers is coming in. That looks like Davis with that walk, but we'll clarify it as he gets closer. That one of those glasses, Ron Davis. Did a good job in Milwaukee about a week or so ago. Picked up a couple saves. I saw him pitch in Milwaukee, and he came from the side, and he really frightened some right-handed hitters out of the batter's box. I don't think he throws that hard, but boy, he really looked like he was coming from everywhere.
He's got Otis and George Brett. Al Collins. 8-7. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Jim Cott leaves, and Ron Davis comes in.
Davis' 7th appearance of the year. They've all been in relief. His 3 wins, no losses, so he's picked up a little bit of the slack with Gossage injured.
Just kind of looking at the records, Tony. Kansas City, they've lost 3 in a row. The scores 3-0, 3-1, and lost last night in 10 innings 11-10. And they're trailing today 8-7. So in 2 games they score 1 run, lose, and they score 17 runs in 2 games, and they lost 1 and trailing in the other. Yankees have split their last 20 games, and they have not had any long streaks for a month.
What Kansas City is facing right now is one of the roughest stretches they're going to have all year long, because they're playing the top 4 Eastern Division teams. And some people said they went into a slump, but they hit the Baltimore Orioles pitching staff. And they have faced people like Tommy John and Flanagan and Martinez and just on and on and on. And they've hit some tough pitching and some tough ball clubs in the East. They can stay close to get to these Western ball clubs. They'll make a little ground, possibly.
You talk about if they can stay close, if those Milwaukee Brewers can stay close with the schedule they got.
And when they get Money and Heisel back also, although there's some question about Heisel with that injured shoulder.
It's going to be quite a race in all the divisions. I'll tell you something. Nobody's going to run away and hide. Right now, Amos Otis is getting set. Ron Davis, this is his 7th game. He came to the Yankee organization in June of 1978 from the Cubs for Ken Holtzman. He's 23 years old, 3-0, 3.60 earned run average. He's pitched 10 innings. He's allowed 4 runs, 14 hits. Munson is going to repair the glove. 30,000 people breathlessly watch as his shin guards. Looks like a job for Quincy. Get Jack Klugman. Okay, we're all set. 1 out. 8-7. Tying run is on at second base. Willie Wilson. Almost threw it by Munson. He had a little more on it than Thurman thought. Ball 1. Amos Otis waiting. Center field, Mickey Rivers calling for it. Wilson is tagging up at third. He may challenge him. He's going, and he'll make it.
Wilson has made a couple of mistakes base running over the past few ball games. He did in Baltimore, but he's generally speaking not only a good base stealer, but a good base runner. He has good instinct, good sense, and down there, any kind of short pass ball, he is a threat to come on home. Now we're going to see Lemon come out again. He's already made the move. Has he made the call? No, he hadn't yet. He's saying, hold on a minute.
Looking down at that bullpen.
Davis is in one of those streaks that relievers get in. He's pitched just 10 innings, but he's already got 3 wins. But that can turn around in such a hurry with relief pitchers. He can lose 3 in a quickness, too.
They're questioning whether Lemon had made a motion for the bullpen. And when third base umpire Jim Evans is coming in now, Lemon, who's got a pixie kind of sense of humor, when Evans put his hands up, Lemon waved to him like, hi, how you doing down there? He had not made a decision, and the home plate umpire went out to check it. So the big meeting on the mound.
So there's Ken Clay throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Well, Brett is the guy that you don't want to pitch to, but it's the same situation as last night, Joe. Tying run at third. George Brett, the hitter. You got first and second base open, but that's that old baseball axiom. Don't ever, although some managers have defied that principle, don't ever put the winning run on base. There's a guy that you would think about it with. The way he can hit.
I'd have to think about it.
You bet.
He's had a good day. He walked in the second. Line hard. Fourth. Singled in the 6th and scored, and doubled in the 7th. Strike. George Brett.
Brett's never seen this guy pitch, I don't believe. I don't think he's batted against him before, and he wanted to see the movement on his fastball, so he took one.
Foul out of play. Brett came into this game hitting at .322 with 7 home runs and 31 runs batted in. So he's added 2 base hits, 2 for 3. He's got to be up to about 226, 227, 327 rather.
The guy that struck out Brett just 17 times and almost, well, he's got 250 plate appearances.
Outside. He's hit .417 here in Kansas City. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Willie Wilson on at third. 8-7. Yankees lead. Bottom of the 9th. What a hit. Wow.
There it is, 2 strikes on him. There's a right down the middle, and look what Brett does to it. He is some kind of player.
I tell you, he is tough.
He might steal, too, right here. You never know.
Munson warned him about that. Collins is the batter. He takes it low for ball 1. Brett, 3 for 4 in the walk. Scored a run, driven in a run.
Brett has stolen 9 bases this year.
Inside. On Brett's base hits, the counts were 2-2, no balls and 2 strikes, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ron Davis. Off the handle. Nettles has it. Flips to Randolph. It is in time. The inning is over, but the game is tied, and we've got extra innings. It's the Yankees 8, the Royals 8, and the crowd reacting to George Brett. Listen to the hand.
Well, it all started. The man you don't want to put on base now since he's so hot for the Royals in the 9th inning when Willie Wilson walked. A beautiful sacrifice. It was a beautiful inning, Joe. A beautiful sacrifice by U.L. Washington. Got Wilson at third. Then Otis hit a ball to center field deep. Wilson tagged up. Brett with 2 strikes drilled a single. It's been a crazy ball game, back and forth, up and down. The Royals have not played well defensively. Both bullpens have struggled. But I've kind of enjoyed it. I know you have, and we hope our fans have.
Oh, I tell you, it's like 2 fat heavyweights. They keep hitting each other, and one gets knocked down, the other one comes up. And the golf will be coming up next, so you stay right with us. The next inning games, the Yankees are 6-1, the Royals are 2-3. And here's the final score from Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Cubs beat the Dodgers 5-3. 5 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for Chicago. 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. The winning pitcher was Lamp. The loser was Sutcliffe. Give Tidrow a save.
21 runs in last night's ball game between those 2 teams. 16 today. And coming right up after this, the Ladies Professional Golf Association tournament. There's Chambliss, Rivers, Randolph, and Lemon. He just stays the same.
Just exudes confidence, control. So now it's Raboski who will be facing the Yankees. Roy White, Bucky Dent, and Mickey Rivers.
Herzog now is keeping somebody ready in his bullpen. His pitching staff has been so torn up. There's the Raboski, the Mad Hungarian Sycak. Marty Patton's throwing in the bullpen. He was scheduled to start Monday, I believe. He may have to help out today if Raboski gets in trouble.
The importance of the bullpen, it really was shown today. High ball 1. Roy White flied to right in the 2nd. He popped to the 2nd baseman in the 4th. Struck out in the 6th. And safe on an error in the 8th. High. 2 balls and no strikes. There's Bob Lemon.
He was saying before the game, he's sitting next to Munson and Law, that he feels that Gossage at this point might have been worth 6 or 7 ball games to the ball club, and they'd probably been in first place in their division.
2 balls and 1 strike. Lasorda over at Los Angeles, with Forrester out, he's come up with the line. He'll probably deny it, but it's hootin', sutton, and nuttin'. That's about right. It'd be like Lemon with Gossage out. Center field, Amos Otis has plenty of room and plenty of time. 1 out. Bucky Dent now with 1 out, nobody on. Dent is 0 for 4. He bounced out third to first in the third. He flied to right in the fourth. Bounced out short to first in the seventh and flied to right in the eighth. $38,025 in a ballpark, and I don't think anybody's gone home. Strike one. The mad Hungarian, Hungo. One ball and 1 strike. I tell you, if you're worried about your kids getting close to the television set, you keep taking that close-up of that Hungarian. They'll run those kids away for a while. He really looks mean out there. Center field, once again, and Amos Otis is just camping and waiting. 2 outs. Two up and 2 down. Mickey Rivers is the batter. Rivers has had a good day. Bounced out second to first in the first inning. He singled to center and scored in the third. Flied to right in the fourth. Doubled and scored in the seventh, and he flied to right in the eighth. Tony says on that first swing, he always goes for the home run. Let's see if he does it this time, Tone.
Well, he says he does. I saw him do it in Milwaukee against Billy Travers. He beat him 2-1 in the first pitch he jumped on. The first pitch, won a ball game.
He just threw it by him.
Throw the ball in there.
Put something on it.
He could read his lips. One word deleted, I think.
Popped up. George Brett at third base calling for it. 3 up and 3 down for the Yankees in the 10th inning. And so we go to the bottom half of the 10th inning. It'll be Darrell Porter, Watham, and Lecoq. And the score, Yankees 8 and the Royals 8.
Because we fly people who expect the best from their world, we're introducing a truly first-class idea in air travel. If you fly first class aboard one of our long-range 747 SPs, you'll be able to dine at our new luxurious table for 2, and you'll recline in our unique sleeperette seat, the most comfortable chair in the air, only on Pan Am.
Pan Am.
This is the world's most revolutionary telephone switching invention. We call it Super Switcher. It handles 4 times more calls and may save us $1 billion a year. Just imagine that each of these cars is a long-distance call. Super Switcher could handle 5 days' traffic on a busy LA freeway. That ought to prevent traffic jams on your long-distance calls.
The Bell System, keeping your communication system the best in the world.
For higher gas mileage, come to Chrysler. Chrysler Corporation is #1 in gas mileage of the big 3. When comparing models with standard engines and transmissions, Chrysler has 12 that top Toyota Celica in estimated miles per gallon, 4 that top Ford or GM's best mileage car, 5 that top gas engine Rabbit, and nobody has more models with estimated 25 miles per gallon than Chrysler. Want higher gas mileage? See your Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
So Darrell Porter will lead it off here. Porter had a big home run in the 4th inning, a 2-run homer. He was hit by a pitch ball and came on around to score in the 6th. He hit into a double play, a 3-6-1 double play in the 2nd. Darrell Porter.
Ooh, Thurman thought he had it. He's asking where was it?
a strike. It might have been the reason he was asking for the first one, so he'd get the next one. One ball, one strike. Foul ball, third base side. Nettles. Does he ever play?
Look at
Went
that.
into
He
the stands,
almost got that ball.
He almost got it. You believe that guy? Buy a ticket, will you, Greg?
Here he is. Look at that. He takes his eye off the ball to see where the wall is. He braces himself and hops up on the wall. I don't know if that ball hit his hands. Kansas City.
It did hit his glove.
Hit his glove. Kansas City fans are kind of polite on that. They didn't get in his way at all. No fan interference could be called. They did not reach over into the playing field, playing area.
Out of play. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's a little much when you start going into the stands to get him. Foul ball, third base side. That's way in the stands. He will need a ticket if he wants to make that play.
With that sun out now, it's got to be a pretty rough sun field in right field for Piniella. There you can see it. You see the shadows behind these players facing out toward right field.
1 ball and 2 strikes. High, 2-2. Red Sox beat Minnesota. Toronto 1-0 over Oakland at the end of 4. Davis in the 5th, nobody on. Only games this afternoon outside of this one in the American League. Foul out of play. Tonight, Texas is at Baltimore, Detroit at California, Chicago at Milwaukee, and Cleveland. They've won 16 out of 24. They play Seattle. Seattle's playing a good ball. 6 of 8, 12 of 20. Looking forward to doing the All-Star game up there, Tony. You see the King Dome.
Tell you what, that ball might be flying out. If you're going to the All-Star game, come out early because that'll be some exhibition in batting practice.
Porter is out on strikes.
Power alleys there, but they don't have them accurately pictured on the side, but it's about 350 in right and left center field. And the ball just flies out of it.
Here is John Wattham, who got a big triple, drive in 2 runs in the 6th inning, came around to score himself, and then he singled in the 4th. Hot smash, base hit, maybe extra bases. Piniella's up. Watham's going to try for 2. The throw is not in time.
Oh, God, he showed some speed, didn't he? He never stopped. Piniella did a good job getting the ball and made a pretty good throw, but Wathan really cut the bag well and make that into a double. Here he comes. You can see him being waved on by Boris. They will challenge the arms of this Yankee outfield. He makes it standing up.
So the tiebreaker is on. We're tied at 8 apiece. And here is Pete Lecoq.
Got to walk him, didn't he?
They're going to put him on. The Chicago Cubs beat the Dodgers 5-3 this afternoon. And New York beat Houston 4-0. Games tonight. Montreal's at Cincinnati. San Diego's at St. Louis. Atlanta and Philadelphia. Those Phillies, they've lost 16-21. And San Francisco at Pittsburgh. Those Pirates, they've won 10 of 12. LPGA golf will be coming up after this ball game. We've got a pinch hitter coming out of the dugout for the Royals. Steve Braun has come out as Pete Lecoq gets the intentional walk. Braun batting for Cruz. Braun hitting at 286. He's got 1 home run. Steve Braun. The winning run is on at second base, and John Wattham.
I'll tell you, they've really moved the outfield in close in left, White, and center field. Piniella's still pretty deep in right. Boy, left and center very shallow for the Yankees.
Bouncing ball, Chambliss gets it. 1 out. Can't make the play. Lecoq really went in hard and prevented Bucky Dent from making a play. Great play by Lecoq.
Well, he gets an at-bat this inning for Willie Wilson. It might have been a double play if not for Pete Lecoq forcing a Dent The jump over the top. Davis couldn't get over to first base in time, but we're going to have a pinch runner now, Joe. Jerry Terrell is going to run. Here's the replay. Chambliss makes a nice play, getting the ball, keeping it from going to the outfield. Look at Lecoq go. Also a pinch runner now at first base. Terrell will run for Braun.
So Terrell is a base runner at first. On at third base is John Wathan. There are 2 men out, and Willie Wilson is the batter. Wilson had a base hit in the 7th. Walked in the 9th. Struck out in the 1st and 5th. Bounced out in the 3rd. Infield, everybody's in tight. High, ball 1.
Nettles still looking for the possibility of the ball. Look where he's playing at third base. With 2 outs. Delayed steal. Boy, what a lead Terrell got. He's trying to draw a throw somewhere. Chambliss is giving him second base.
They're all giving him second base. They're not worried about Terrell at first base. They're worried about Wathan at third.
Like he ought to take it. You know, Wilson running, they've got a chance to get a force out at second base. You bet take it. Go at the last pitch.
There he goes, and not even a play. Boras, he asked Boras, and Boras just nodded his head. He's going down there. You stay out of the way.
Chambliss is playing back. He was playing back to protect the hole. He was not holding Terrell on. Now they've removed the force out. They're going to have to get Wilson to first base on a little chopper.
Foul ball down the third base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the bottom half of the 10th inning. We're all tied 8 apiece. The winning run is on at third base. John Wathan.
Wilson's up on the bat about 6 inches, just trying to make contact. He's really choked up.
Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Willie Wilson. Boy, he's gripping that trademark. Another inch higher, he could hit from either end. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. Jammed him inside, struck him out. Ends the inning. Royals do not score. We complete 10 innings of play here. It's the Yankees 8, the Royals 8, and we'll be back after these messages from your local station.
On Disney, the search for an escaped tiger gets out of hand. Don't miss the exciting conclusion of A Tiger Walks, Sunday.
In the beginning, there is not a scratch, and that is called new. Then comes the use and the dirt and the cleaning and the use and the cleaning again and again. And still there is not a scratch, and that is called Bon-Ami. Bon-Ami Polishing Cleanser, recommended by Corning, Rival, Tappan, West Bend, and many other manufacturers because it does the cleaning without scratching. Bon-Ami Polishing Cleanser. It works.
If your home looks like the devil and you want a bright new look, call Standard Improvement Company. Convert little used areas like your garage to a comfortable family room. Waste space like your basement can be a beautiful recreation room. Your old-fashioned kitchen can be cheerful, bright, and new. Standard can remodel your bathroom right away, make your home like new for far less than the cost of a new home, and liberal terms can be arranged. Call Standard Improvement Company day or night, Westport 17100. Get a free silver dollar with your estimate.
Once in a while, you find a couple of people who just naturally work well together, who complement each other in every way, like Stacy Smith and Rita Channon. What each can do well alone works even better when they're together. A natural sort of communication you just don't find every day. So it's no accident that more people are switching to Action News.
Good evening, I'm Rita Channon.
Stacy Smith and Rita Channon.
Good evening, I'm Rita Channon.
Kansas City's choice, naturally.
Down Home Country Entertainment, today at 6.
Jerry Terrell stays in the ballgame at second base. And UL Washington, who was at second base, moves over to shortstop, toothpick and all. And the new pitcher is Marty Patton.
8th pitcher used in this ball game, 4 by each ball club. Patton was scheduled to start on Monday because Leonard's still having arm problems. Splittorff went home with the flu today. He was supposed to pitch tomorrow. So Herzog's running through his pitching staff.
I tell you, he may have to start Ewing Kaufman tomorrow. Marty Patton, it's his sixth in relief, and he's 2-0 with 2 saves and a 3.52 earned run average. Willie Randolph. Ball 1. Marty Patton.
Every spring over the last few years, Marty Patton said to really fight for a job. He hadn't got many innings in the first parts of those seasons, but he always seems to come along the second half and win some very important games. He's got a tough job. He's a spot starter. He'll pitch in relief, short or long. Never in a regular rotation, but he always seems to do an excellent job for this club. Call him the Duck.
There's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Willie Randolph, the batter. Nobody on, nobody out. We're in the 11th inning, tied at 8 apiece. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Randolph, he's really got Brett back. It was a good idea to drop that bunt. He'd have been able to walk down there.
A few rain clouds starting to creep in too. It's getting a little cloudy and dark out in the west.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside.
I think our producers and directors at the LPGA are getting a little itchy fingers. This game going on time. We hope LPGA golf will be up next.
Well, we will not waste any time. As soon as this game's over, we'll be going there. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, he walked him, so Randolph is on. Here we go again. Last time this happened, Munson played hit and run and got jammed, but Randolph was able to move to second. He had singled that time. This time he leads off the inning by walking.
This has been a long, less than 24 hours for Munson, because he caught 10 innings last night, catching into the 11th inning today. And that bad knee that he's come up with,
I don't believe
be hurt.
He won't be able to use maybe 2 tickets from his disco dance book. He'll turn the rest of them in.
See if he's got him bunting this time. Brett's looking for it down at third. He's even with a bag.
He shortened up as if to bunt the last time. Randolph has a good lead at first.
Good hit and run man, Munson.
Back in time. A good quick move by Marty Patton. Strike on the outside corner. Munson doesn't believe it. He's really going to have his words now. Randolph is on at first. Munson's just got the bat laying at home plate. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, it's a strike. I think Munson didn't bunt after the ball, but that ball looked like he might have the outside corner. Or he may have thought it was low.
Wasn't that bad, I'll tell you, for what he did.
He was going to bunt. It was a good pitch to bunt because it was a sinker down low.
Pitch out, nothing going on. Now look out, John. They got you in the box. Marty Patton in relief. 1 ball and 1 strike. Boy, they like to hit and run after the pitch out play. Let's see what happens here.
He's got a good lead at first. He might be gone.
There he goes. Bunted beautifully. Patton, Marshall, Lecoq. Randolph had that base stolen had Munson taken it, but when Munson saw Randolph break, he protected him.
You wonder if there's a mix-up. That could have been a straight steal. I don't know if it's a bunt and run. It might have been a hit and run. But if you're going to start a runner, I got to believe you got to let Munson take a whack at it. Here goes Randolph, who would have had the base stolen, I believe, as you said, Joe. He doesn't pick up the ball at all. He was going on his own, a straight steal, so he missed. Somebody missed the bunt sign, maybe Munson just decided to do it on his own for fear of hitting into a double play, but there was something messed up there in somebody's part.
Whenever you see that runner, just look at the bag. Right now, Walton wants to talk to Patton. Randolph never did look back towards the hitter to pick up the ball, so that was a straight steal, and he just went head first into second base. And Munson might have just been trying to protect himself, Tony, because it was right in tight on him. At any rate, they've got the tie-breaking run on at second base, and Lou Piniella, who's had a hot hand, 7 RBIs in this series. He's got 4 today, 3 base hits. Piniella is the batter.
Kansas City infield playing rather deep. They're going to knock anything down that's on the ground, keep it from going to the outfield.
Strike one.
Willie Randolph at second base. The last time he was there, had an idea of stealing third. He's been jockeying back and forth. He did it again on that first pitch, and now Terrell is coming over to say, hey, listen, at least give him 1 look, maybe 2, and then get the hitter. Don't let him steal now where he can score on that sacrifice fly with 1 out.
And in addition to keeping him close, you give those outfielders a chance to throw him out at the plate. Gets a big lead. At 2 steps that he picks up at second base will pay dividends when he tries to score on the single. Popped up. Shallow left field. Willie Wilson's going to take charge, and Wilson makes the play. So Piniella flies to Wilson in left, and that brings up Greg Nettles. Nettles tied it up. Gave him the lead, rather.
Now, you got to believe they're thinking of walking Nettles. I think they're going to maybe put him on. Cliff Johnson is the DH next with 2 outs. The percentages would be there. I got to believe they're going to intentionally pass him and pitch to Johnson, but you never know what Lemon's going to do. He's still got some pinch hitters left on the bench.
They've given the sign to put him on. There's Cliff Johnson. Lemon just kind of watching here. He hasn't made a move yet. Looking down his bench. It may be Jay Johnstone. It looked like he said Jay. There's Jay Johnstone next to young Chris there. Johnstone putting on the batting glove right in the runway. So it'll be Jay Johnstone who'll come on to pinch hit for Cliff Johnson. Johnstone is hitting at .217. 1 home run, which was a grand slam.
Yeah, you never know. Herzog might counter. He's got Steve Mingori, a left-hander throwing. Also, Ed Rodriguez, a right-hander. He mentioned we've seen 8 pitchers in this ball game, and there were a bunch in last night's extra inning game. There is Steve Boros, one of the coaches.
So, Lecoq and Marty Patton, they want to talk it over.
Hal McRae, who's got an injured shoulder. Here comes Galen Cisco now as Johnstone waiting patiently. There's a guy that suffered with some teams. He's once with the Mets. Galen Cisco.
Tell me about suffering with teams. He suffered during expansion. We did it on merit.
Tell you what, he was happy to be there, though, because there are a lot of guys without expansion wouldn't have been in the big leagues.
Say that again today. So Marty Patton will be the pitcher to face Jay Johnstone. They will not make a change. Cisco apparently went out there to talk about how to pitch to Jay Johnstone. We're tied at 8 apiece, and we're in the 11th inning. Tie-breaking run is on at second base. Willie Randolph. There are 2 outs. Nettles is on at first base. Now the umpires want to get together, and I'm sure it's about the lights. Should we turn the lights on? They like to wait to do it between innings, or at least the completion of an inning.
Larry Barnett, obviously the crew chief. Most years of service.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But, you know, if they turn him on at the half inning, Kansas City will have an edge, will they not?
I would think that if they turned him on right now, Whitey Herzog would get mad. So they wait a second.
Jay Johnstone waiting.
That's what that 5 was that you saw Larry Barnett hold up. It takes 5 minutes for these vapor lights to go on. I think he held up 5 fingers.
Curveball is a strike. Eight to 8. We're tied. We're in the 11th inning.
Pitches have scattered 25 hits.
Bouncing ball, foul. 2 quick strikes on Jay Johnstone, the pinch hitter. And Willie Randolph heads back to second, and Greg Nettles wanders back towards first after visiting with Larry Barnett, the second base umpire. 8-11-0 for the Yankees, 8-14-2 for the Royals. 25 hits, 16 runs, and 277 players.
Are you able to smell rain? You're from the Midwest, in St. Louis, but I smell rain.
It's in the air. Two-strike pitch. Struck him out. Jay Johnstone is called out on strikes. That ends the inning, so we go to the bottom half of the 11th inning. We're all tied. Yankees 8, Royals 8. It'll be UL Washington, Amos Otis, and George Brett coming to bat for Kansas City.
An accident can happen anytime, and anytime, 24 hours a day. You can call the cavalry, the Kemper Insurance Companies, and the independent agents who represent us. We'll be there with professional claim service. Claim service that's not just fast, it's fair. The Kemper Insurance Companies. We're riding hard to serve you better.
Alcoa can't wait.
It's simple. A lighter car will use less gasoline. That's why designers and stylists in Detroit are using and considering more aluminum than ever before for hoods, doors, wheels, and over 24 other applications. Detroit is as interested in saving energy as you are. And strong, lightweight aluminum is part of the picture.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
The smile on your face is there because you know that your mouth tastes great. And it's nice when their teeth are getting strong and the clean in your mouth is Colgate.
Colgate is more than a brisk, clean taste. With regular brushing, Colgate's fluoride penetrates the surface of tooth enamel. Not this fast, but it gets in and fights cavities.
There's a twinkle in your eye when there's fluoride for their teeth, and the clean in your mouth is Colgate.
Well, there's our friendly little sign. LPGA Championship coming up.
A little while longer, they're going to add another word to that. Coming up next year. Now, we've got it tomorrow also, but we'll get to it. You're wondering, in extra inning ball games, the Yankees have a 6-win, 1-loss record. Kansas City, on the other hand, extra innings, 2 wins, 3 losses.
UL Washington. Washington has 2 base hits. Bunted down the first base line. It is a, what do they call it?
Fair ball.
Fair ball. Oh, we're going to have an argument.
The home plate umpire's call. Wait a second. Did he call it? He motioned in fair, didn't he? I thought.
Yes, he
or did he say
did.
foul? He had that arm extended in fair territory.
Let's see it. Mighty close, mighty close, mighty close.
It is right on touching the line, and Chambliss got his foot on the base. UL Washington argued he wanted it to be foul. You can see the first base umpire spin. It was not his call until that ball goes past first base. The home plate umpire, in this case, Ted Hendry, called it and called it properly.
It was good teamwork because that could have been one of those double decisions. One guy called it fair and the other one called it foul, but they worked together, and UL Washington is out. Chambliss unassisted. Here is Amos Otis. Otis has 1 base hit, scored a run in the 4th after he had singled.
Ooh,
he was going for downtown.
He had a pitch in his wheelhouse, too. Up nice and high, what he could get in the air.
So a 1 strike to count on Amos Otis. Ron Davis is the pitcher.
Otis using a little bit of the Charlie Lau philosophy, who's now with the Yankees as batting coach. Take your time, think it out, don't get in too soon and waste the pitch or an at-bat. Make sure you are ready.
One strike. Right back to Davis. So Otis will be an easy out. 2 up and 2 down. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WDAF TV4, Kansas City, Missouri.
See the action on that sinker that Davis threw. I'd walk this next guy right here. I would not pitch to this guy right here. He's the kind of guy who's kind of gotten the flair for the dramatic, George Brett.
Well, he's picked up 7 points today in his batting average, Tony. He's up to 329. He got a big base hit in that 9th inning. Ball 1. He's always able to do what he has to do. If he has to drive in the run from first, he'll go long ball. Man in scoring position, back up the middle. He'll be going for the downs here. Way back, deep to center field. This ball game off the wall. Extra bases for Brett. He's going to get 3. He went for it.
Oh, man. Getting a standing ovation. Almost every hit he's gotten, as you mentioned earlier, this is the same thing. He's been behind on the count. He didn't quite pull it, but boy, what a beautiful swing he's got. Drills it about 410 feet away. Just misses by what, a foot, 2 feet? Turns it into a triple.
He does exactly what he has to do. With nobody on, 2 outs, he had to go for the extra base hit. He let out a notch to try to get the home run. He missed it by a matter of a couple feet.
Well, you see them both in Seattle, I gotta believe. The All-Star game, Brett and Nettles. Oh. I don't know which one's going to win the voting from the fans, but they're both going to be there.
Here's Al Cowens. It's a strike. Score is tied, 8 apiece. There are 2 outs. The winning run is on a third. George Brett, his 4th base hit. Now has 9 triples. Time is called. Cowens, 2 base hits his first 2 times up.
A lot of pressure on an infield because Cowens has speed. You know you've got to feel it cleanly to throw him out.
Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. What a ball game and what an exhibition George Brett has put on. Amazing, amazing display. He did all day what he had to do. Foul out of play. That ball in the deepest part of the ballpark, and I thought it was going to carry out of here. Came up, tied it in the 9th with a clutch hit. Ron Davis.
Brett against Baltimore hit for the cycle this year. 5 base hits.
Struck him out. Cowens is out on strikes. That ends the inning, so we complete 11 innings. It's the Yankees 8 and the Royals 8. And 2 up for the Yankees. It'll be Chambliss, White, and Bucky Dent.
In your windshield is an invisible chemical called polyvinyl butyrol. This chemical, made by Monsanto, could save your life in an accident. No chemical is totally safe all the time, everywhere. But to make driving safer, we need chemicals like polyvinyl butyrol. That's why every new car sold in America has a laminated safety glass windshield. Without chemicals, life itself would be impossible.
Want high gas mileage? Come to Chrysler. Chrysler Corporation is #1 in gas mileage of the big 3. Of all conventional pickups with an optional V8 and automatic transmission, Dodge D100 has the highest EPA estimated gas mileage. Of all small pickups with a standard engine and optional automatic transmission, Dodge D50 has the highest EPA estimated mileage. Want a pickup with high gas mileage? Come to Dodge. Chrysler is #1 in gas mileage of the big three.
Do you know me? In places like this, I'm not always recognized. That's one reason I carry the American Express card. It really comes in handy on vacations for hotels, car rentals, ski equipment, and tennis lessons. After all, man does not live by golf alone.
To apply for an American Express card, look for this display wherever the card is welcomed.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.